Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel Champions Hero Pack unboxing. So here we have Doctor Strange, and we have his 40 card pre-built deck, 24 new cards, and he fights Baron, uh, the malicious Baron Mordor. Um, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see like how you can combine what he does, which cards he comes with. I know he has a new mechanic. He has an extra side deck of cards. So that might be something unique they'll be able to introduce with other characters. Let's look at his poster. Oop, oop, oop. Oh boy, that's a pretty cool poster. His mustache. With his mustache, is a weird way to say that. Doctor Strange, talking about him, mentions his invocation deck. So he has some special cards, and we'll get to that when we get there. And he has a protection deck. So we have Miss Marvel had Miss Marvel has protection, and so we have two protections now. Two extra sets of protection. Captain America was leadership. Um, Natasha Black Widow was justice, and Thor was aggression. So it's like we went justice, leadership. I'm sorry, protection, because it went Miss Marvel, so for protection. Oh, I can't get this pack open. Captain America's leadership, Black Widow with, or Thor next with aggression, and then Black Widow with um, justice, and now we're wrapping back around to protection, and then the next one will be Hulk with aggression. So presumably, the next two heroes that come out after Hulk will have another leadership, and one will be justice. If they're gonna kind of keep in the same theme of running each character, so that might even kind of give a theming to like, hey, who's coming up next? It's either to be a justice or a um, justice or leadership character. It also seems like they're trying to do Avenger characters, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man. Like you're getting all the main ones from the movies, and upcoming stuff like that. So I wonder if like, cause then they have like Rise of the Red Skull. So I wonder if like after that, if they're gonna kind of get like a phase two, and they're gonna start maybe getting into some of the other characters. Like maybe we're gonna get like some X-Men, get some Fantastic Four characters. We'll have to see. So here we have Doctor Strange, who's a hero, an Avenger, and a Mystic. First time we've seen Mystic. Um, Two thwart, one attack, two defense. He's not really an attacker, which makes sense. Spell mastery. So this is how his deck kind of works. Exhaust Doctor Strange and pay the cost of the top card of the invocation deck. Revolve that special ability. So we've seen this special ability idea before with Black Panther and his upgrade cards. This one he just has a side deck. So you have to search your deck to find these cards. But the difference is going to be those cards, once they were out, you could use them all like in a row. This one you can only use them when you pay for them. Flip them over. We have Stepping Strange, 3 recovery, Mystic. Stepping Strange begins the game with an invocation deck, so because you always start with the alter ego side. Natural talent action: discard the top card of the invocation deck. So that's what you do. Is basically here you're playing a Stepping Strange. It lets you discard the top card, so you can get the next one. You're like, okay, that one's not beneficial right now. Let me get to the next one, and then you can flip them over and you can play that card. And we'll get those cards and we'll see how that all works. Let's see what else he has. He has an ally, of course. He has Wong, Mystic. Exhaust Wong to choose to either heal 1 damage from your identity or discard your top card of the invocation deck. That's helpful. So either prepping or healing yourself. Astral Projection Event, a spell. So that's the first time we've seen spell, I believe. Thwart. Choose a steam, remove 3 threat from the steam, and look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost on that, remove 1 additional threat from the chosen steam. Oh boy, so you could remove up to potentially 6, I believe. That could be really helpful. Oh, and for 2. Magical Blast. Attack Spell. Deal 5 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. That card's printed resource has Fist, stunning enemy, Energy, 2 damage to the enemy, Genius, confuse the enemy, or Wild, all of the above. Not only do you do 5 damage, you could basically do 2 more, so I would still take out a lot of guys. Or you can stun or confuse them, which would prevent them from either attacking or doing other stuff. Alright, let's see what else we got. The Master of the Mystic Arts, Hero Action. Pay the printed cost of a top card of the invocation deck, resolve its special ability, then place it back. So what this lets you do is, if I really like the top card of my invocation deck, I can play it using this card instead of my identity card, the Doctor Strange card. But then instead of discarding it to the bottom and shuffling for a new one, I can keep it there and use it a second time. So if you have one that really helps, like maybe it does damage, we'll have to see what they all do. Mystic Studies. Alter Ego Action. Search your deck and discard pile for a Doctor Strange card, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Of course, Doctor Strange have a card that just lets him find whatever he needs. Protective Ward. Spell. Hero Interruption. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. So pretty good, but it also requires it being a treachery. I mean, there's a decent amount of treachery cards. Sanctum Sanctorum. Location. Alter Ego Action. Exhaust Sanctum Sanctorum. Shuffle a spell card from your discard pile into your deck and draw 1 card. You find your spell cards, which you could use to find Astral Projection, Magic Blast. You can't find Magical Mystical Arts though, but you could find Protective Ward. So basically anything but the other cards that let you do really cool things. There's some upgrades here. We have his Cloak of Levitation, an artifact that gains you the aerial trait. Exhaust Cloak of Levitation to ready Doctor Strange. If you're going to call yourself the Sorcerer Supreme, you should really have a flying cloak. Magical Enhancements, a condition spell. Play under the player. Any player's control gets 1 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. Force interrupt. When the round ends, discard it. It's a 1 turn boost, but still, that's pretty helpful. The Eye of Agamotto. Artifact item. Resource. Exhaust the Eye of Agamotto to generate a wild resource. Alright, so that was Doctor Strange's stuff. Where are his... I want to look at the invocation cards before we go to something else, because they're a separate deck. So they're going to say invocation down here, 1 of 5, because they are separate. And you can also see, this is the other thing that's sort of neat. Here's a Doctor Strange symbol, and then they put this one with a little, like, shieldy symbol over it. Just so you know, it's still part of Doctor Strange, but it's a separate thing. So again, it'd be neat if they do more stuff like this. I don't want every character to have an extra side deck, but it's a neat concept. So we have Crimson Bands of Sidorak. Special stun. an enemy and deal 7 damage to it. Place this card in the bottom of the discard pile. Oh boy, that could, yeah, stun him and deal 7 damage. That's gonna take out just about any minion, most minions. Plus really hurt most of the villains. Images of Icon. Invocation, yep. Spell, confuse the villain, and remove 4 threat from a scheme. You only see what I want you to see. 7 Rings of Ragador. Give up to 3 characters, each a tough status card. Nice. So like that could be something where you could be like that. You just have to look at this, right? One card where you can play them a second time. So you get to play this, get 3 characters. You could play it again with that 1 Mystic card. And then you could get up to 6 characters, tough stats. That means they basically get to avoid 1 hit. So that could be really cool. Vapors of Valtor. Choose a status card in play. Replace the status card with a different status card. Places. Okay, so that's cool. So you could basically exchange stun or confuse around for a villain. So like they can't attack or can't thwart. Or you could change one of those to or from a tough status into one. So that's actually pretty cool. And it's free. And then the Wands of Watoomb, which is also free. Draw 3 cards. So I don't know if you want to play that one twice, because you have 6 cards. I don't know if you'd ever need 6 cards in your hand. Yeah, nothing here really even costs that much. A 2, a 1, a 1, a 0, and a 0. So I kind of wonder if at some point they might make upgrade cards for some of these, like in the future. So like you have Doctor Strange, and that still has a blue back like the rest. But yeah, that'd be interesting to wonder if they're gonna ever do something like that, like so you can get extra cards to change out the hero decks ever, to like maybe really customize a hero. But it might be like you can still only have 5 invocation cards. You have to swap one out for another one, or like even for example like Black Panther, you can swap out one of his for another. So you have different options. Let's see if they ever do it. Here's our protection cards. Brother Voodoo, Jericho Drum, Avenger, and Mystic. So he takes extra damage from thwarting. After Brother Voodoo enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So he finds you some event cards. We have Clea. Mystic, Interrupt. When Clea is defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck. Well, basically just throw her out, have her absorb damage, she's gonna come back. Ooh, and protection, we have another one. We have Iron Fist, Danny Rand. Defender. Iron Fist comes into play at 2 Mystic counters. When Iron Fist attacks, remove 1 Mystic counter, stun an enemy, and deal 1 damage to it. Desperate Defense. Defense card, Hero Interrupt. When your hero defends against an attack, you get +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage, ready your hero. You choose to defend, but you get the extra 2 defense power. Momentum Shift, Attack, heal 2 damage from a hero, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So these are good protection cards. They're going to take stuff, protection of power. We have a Med Team, which you've seen before. Gain 3 medical counters. Remove Exhaust and remove 1 to heal 2 damage. We have a support card, Persona. So we have another Persona card. The Night Nurse. Use 3 medical cards. Exhaust the Night Nurse and remove 1 medical counter from her. Deal 1 damage from a hero and discard 1 status card from it. Upgrade. Unflappable. Play under any player's control. Response. After you defend against an attack and take no damage. Exhaust Unflappable to draw a card. And we got 3 of those. Yeah, so this is like, again, second protection deck. Works very similar to the other protection, but it has its own tweaks. This one seems more about healing and you not taking damage than maybe preventing other people. Here's our basic cards. Right away we have an event. Usually we start with an ally, so that's interesting that they did that. Warning, defense. Interrupt. When a hero would take any amount of damage, reduce the amount by once. Just automatic reduce one, so nothing super special. Some energy, a genius, a strength. We have the Avengers Mansion, which we've seen before. Exhaust Avengers Mansion. To your player draws a card. And then we have a new upgrade here. This is a unique upgrade, a title. This might be the first title we've seen. I know that Thor and Captain America, I believe, have some. But this is the first one in the order of that we've seen since the core set. Because if I did the videos in order, those guys would have came out first. If you only have Mystic Trait, okay, so it's not going to work for everybody. You get +1 hand size, 1 hero form. Interesting. There's that artwork from that card. No extra basic ally, though. Probably because there's not a lot of basic, like, magical allies, would be my guess. Here we have his obligation, a physical toll. Step in strange, you can exhaust him, or the next event you play costs 3 additional resources. Discard. So the next event. So let's just see how bad that affects him. An event, an event, an event, an event, 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 event. So half his deck is events, plus all of the invocations are events. And then even his protection cards, there's a lot of events. And his basics events. So yeah, that would definitely make that a lot harder. We have Baron Mordo, an elite mystic. Forced Interrupt. When Baron Mordo attacks, you discard the top card of your deck. If it has that printed resource, you are stunned, take 2 damage, you are confused, or all of the above. So it works like the opposite of Doctor Strange's one card. So instead of you doing this stuff, he does it too. So that's actually kind of fun. A little reverse card. We have Open the Dark Dimension. When revealed, place the top card of the invocation deck face down under this scheme. Oh boy, so you lose one of your 5 cards. When defeated, shuffle the invocation card under here into the invocation deck. And it's 3 per player. So if you're playing a 4-player game, it has 12 on there, so it's going to take a little while to get rid of that. Counterspell, condition, attach your hero. When you play an event, cancel its effects and discard it. Then discard this card. I should have been made Sorcerer Supreme, Strange, not you. Yeah, this card really messes up Doctor Strange's deck. Thought Casting, Treachery, Alter Ego, discard card from your hand with the highest cost, place a threat on the scheme equal to the printed cost, or if you're a hero, discard a card from your hand and take damage equal to that cost. Oh boy. So at the highest cost, so what's his highest cost cards? 3s, he's got a couple of 3s, he's got a lot of 1s and 2s. We got like a 4 for Iron Fist. Bunch of 3s, so yeah, he could get another 4 there. He definitely hurt with that card. Yeah, Doctor Strange seems pretty interesting with his spells, and it's all about that invocation deck. So here we have Skilled Strike. Interrupt. When your hero makes a basic attack, it takes 2 attack for that attack. Which Karnak from the Inhumans. Foiled Interrupt. When a boost card is turned face up during Steam activation, cancel its boost icons. And so this is interesting because we have 3, but then when we get to the leadership, we only get 1 because it's a unique Iron Man ally. And we get no basic cards. So it's kind of interesting. So like, this is the first time that the extra cards went off the different path than the rest. But But again, they're probably like, there's not a lot of basic cards, as you even saw in there. They're like, what do we do with him? Basic cards don't really fit him. And I think that was the point. They tried to make cards that sort of worked. So here we have Iron Man, ally for 4. Reduce the cost to play each upgrade on Iron Man by 1. So you can't play this Iron Man with the other Iron Man. But let's look at what the 2 Iron Mans look like together. So 2 thwart, 2 attacks. He's actually a little bit stronger. But he could potentially get stronger. He's going to get more all his tech on. Oh, it's just an older model probably. Like this is Mark V. This is probably one of the older ones. But yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. But you can't use those 2 together. Like you can't use 2 Iron Mans together. So this could go in any deck but an Iron Man deck. Alright, so that's Doctor Strange. And then plus these other 2 are also event cards. Yeah, I think you're going to end up spending... You basically have your options. You either do your thwarts and attack, or you can use your invocation deck. So you kind of got to decide how often do you want to be using him for attacking or defending, or just trying to use them special cards. And I feel like you're going to find that you're going to more often than not be using those special cards as long as you can pay for them. So that was Doctor Strange. See you guys later. Bye.